Hey,
Hi.
what's up, friend?
How are you?
I'm good. I can't, you know what? I can't really complain.
Yeah. It's
I've
so good
been,
to see your face.
I know, I feel like I was talking to myself earlier and I was like, I haven't seen Brave like like we talk, through text or whatever, but in person, I haven't seen you probably, it's been a minute, right?
It's been a while.
Right? It's,
It's been a while. It's been so good to see you though. How are you? How are you holding up?
I'm actually not bad. I've been in the house. Today was my first time in
Yeah.
downtown Chicago. I had to go get
Oh
that
wow.
COVID-19 test.
Oh, wait, so you're back in Chicago right now?
I'm back in Chicago, and yeah, I came home when this all started.
Yeah.
It just, I was, well, I think I had it in November, December, because I lost over 25 pounds in 2.5 weeks. I went to the eye doctor. They didn't know what was wrong with my eye. I had a red eye, and it was like all messed up. And then I went to a regular doctor. They couldn't tell me nothing. Then I went to the ER in like January. They couldn't tell me nothing.
Oh my goodness.
So I think, because I didn't eat, I had no appetite. I mean, how do you lose 25 pounds in two and a
That's
half
crazy.
weeks?
So what did they say it was? Did they say that you had it?
Nothing.
Did they test you for it?
No, that's before even testing
Right. Right.
was here, because it was like by the time like halfway through January I felt better, but literally
Yeah.
from it was like Thanksgiving through maybe like the second week or first week of January. It was just I didn't know. I
Wow.
had the chills. I had no appetite. All I was eating was chicken broth and soup and chicken broth and like honey with tea, because I didn't know
Oh
what was
my
going on. I
goodness.
was like, maybe there's something. I didn't know. I was just like, well, I'm gonna pull through. And I mean, I don't know if I had it or not, but I can't wait till they have those. What's the
The
test they're gonna do?
antibodies.
The
The
antibody
antibodies.
test.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I think I definitely had it. I mean, I never lost that much weight and without working out or eating right. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I loved it, but I felt horrible though.
I know, but you pulled through. You pulled through, and
It's
you look
yeah,
great.
and
You
I
look
did the
great.
regular test today
Oh, did you?
because I had the surgery coming up. So you have to get it done before any surgery.
Okay.
So it was interesting. It really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I saw the governor of New York, the mayor of New York. He did it on live on CNN today,
Oh,
and
did he?
yeah, he stood there. He closed his eyes, and she stuck and I was like, oh, but
Oh,
it seemed like it was nothing. I was like, okay,
yeah. It's not bad. You know what it feels like? It feels like it's like uncomfortable for a second, but it feels like you have a tickle in your nose,
yeah,
and
okay,
you're just like you tear a little, but it's not like you're in pain. It's just kind of ticklish in a way I feel, but it's literally like 15 seconds. So,
okay,
but it was good. Yeah. But otherwise, I haven't been out. I haven't been out since I think I went to the store once within 2 months.
yeah,
Otherwise, everyone else has been getting stuff for the house, and
yeah.
yeah. How about yourself?
I'm blessed. I mean, every day is a new day, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it goes up and down. I found a rhythm which works for me now. So I mean, just trying to stay productive as much as possible, trying to stay creative as possible. The fitness is like my savior. The
Yeah.
fact that I can still train and like, be active and sweat and do things that I love to do, like that has been a definite savior during all of this. It's definitely kept me sane and
Yeah.
yeah. Without that, I don't know, it might be a different story.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell people too. Like a lot of people were telling me like, "Oh, I can't work out because I need to get out." I'm like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "You could work out.
Yeah.
Like you're proof of that. You show you could work out in your home. Like you don't. I mean, you
I
could go out. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, with this, it's so crazy because I've learned a lot about myself, and it's like things that were seemingly much easier, obviously before this happened. It's
mm-hmm.
almost like now you have to choose to force yourself to do those things again.
Yeah.
Um, it's like a whole mental cluster, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like being deliberate and being intentional, like, okay, Brave, you don't feel like doing this right now. Like I
Yeah.
would totally rather be sleeping or sitting on this couch and watching this TV or just getting used to, I don't know, just doing bare minimal because you think because the world has quote unquote stopped. But it's
Yeah.
like you have to make a choice to force yourself to, you know, just adhere to certain things that can bring you a moment of
Mm-hmm.
peace or a moment of sanity.
No,
I
for
know
sure.
it's like before this pandemic started, I was big on if anyone would ever come over, I was always big on lighting candles, having fresh flowers, fresh fruit always in my fridge.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I can control. So now it's the same thing. I'm lighting my candles. I have fresh flowers. There's good, fruit in the fridge. So it's like the things that I can control. I'm just making sure that I still adhere to that because it gives me a sense of normalcy and comfort.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. One thing I have to say with your quarantine workouts, your style is so dope of your like furniture and I love your wall. Like it's
Oh,
super
thank
dope.
you. It's
I was
like
like,
it's like
damn
a
it.
famous wall. I was like,
Yeah, it's a dope. Like I love your style. I was like, damn, Brace place is dope. I'm like,
no,
she
I
got
appreciate it. I mean, because I am when I'm not on the road. It's right when this happened. I was on the road doing a promo tour. I just signed
yeah.
a deal with Universal. We were out. We were promoting the new song, and then this all happened. So it's like by nature, I am a homebody. So like I make sure that I do take care of home. Like
Uh
I can't work with clutter. I have to have everything like chic with clean lines, and it has to smell good.
huh.
It has to be an ambiance. So I'm a little extra, but it makes me happy.
Yeah, it really does help when your place is in order. I feel like it like a peace of mind because like you said, a lot of people like see I'm good because I'm like you said I'm a homebody too. I don't need like to have 20 friends over or
Yeah,
have that one. I'm good by myself. Like I just talk to myself and I'm good. Like
yeah, yeah,
I can make it happen.
yeah.
But how is it outside by you? Is it like what are the rules by you? Is it anything different than because we
No,
don't have no curfew or nothing?
no curfew. It's just you are required. You can't enter in any business without a mask on.
Okay.
Um, the businesses are starting to slowly. Oh, actually, at Baltimore City itself, they said they were going to open on Friday, but then they kind of
Uh-huh.
like backtracked. I guess I thought about it and was like, hold
Yeah.
up, this ain't safe. So it's still kind of just like stay at home, unless you have to go out for your essentials and that kind of thing. So as long as I'm able to get my run outside when I can and be able to work out, I'm like, okay, I'll be patient. I'll wait.
Yeah, I'm good. Like it's a weird time, but it's definitely a time in history we've lived through
We
again. So it's
lived
kind
through it.
of exactly like it's
Right.
cool to see in a way. Well, not really cool to see, but just to see how things have changed so quick. I guess because
Yeah.
who would ever thought? Like I did not
Yeah.
go into this year thinking, you know. But I did feel it because I was pretty like when it all first happened, like in December, like in China, I was like watching it like really closely. I was like, I don't know, I think this may hit here. But then I was kind of like February hit, and I was like, oh, well, nothing still. And then all of a sudden March hit, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's
It's a
real.
it's a
Yeah, it was,
keep your ass
but
in the house.
exactly, yeah. I ran from LA to Chicago. I was like, let me get to Chicago. I can't do LA right now.
Right.
Yeah, but first, I want to start with, you know, acting. You did, the TLC cameo, and then you did Love.com on Netflix right now. Yo, Brave, you killed that movie.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Like,
I mean, I
I thought you
appreciate
were
it.
doing movies for a lifetime. Like,
Not a lifetime. I'll take it.
because I mean, some actresses and actors I feel that have been doing movies still aren't good. Like your craft is like you're so dope in it. I just want to let you know that.
I appreciate that. I mean, for me, acting is has always been important. Just to me as an artist, like,
Yeah.
and that's something I'm really leaning in towards. Well, I hate this whole pandemic. It kind of
Yeah.
slowed things down, but it's something I definitely and still continuing to lean in towards and really just
Mm-hmm.
study and mature and grow. Even just behind the scenes, I'm in the process of creating my own film, and I'm super excited about it and writing it and just seeing it from beginning, middle to end. The plan was to begin shooting before 2020, around November 2020. Um, I don't know if that's still gonna take place,
Yeah.
but the good news is, even though if the shooting of it is delayed because of the pandemic, it gives me more time to make sure that the script is like ironclad.
Perfection. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not per se a script writer,
Mm-hmm.
but the ideas that I have that I did write, it's like this is absolutely a movie. And I'm a chick flick fan. Like I love like rom coms. I love
Yeah.
chick flicks. So for me, it's like I see it and I just can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you though, how was it though for Love.com? Because I mean, it's like a long music video basically. Like.
That's funny. Yeah, the soundtrack is super dope. It was a great experience. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot. It was my first lead film.
Yeah.
But the cast, just being there ongoingly, filming in DC, which I super was appreciative of, just to be able to really, go to my sister state,
Yeah.
really like just dig in and see the culture of DC. And um, it was just a dope all around experience. I learned so much. I learned so much from Lisa Ray. I learned so much about myself. Raheem Devon did his thing. The cast, it was just a great experience.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like you said, the pandemic happened, but it was kind of dope because a lot more people I felt
We're able
were
to
looking
watch
for
it.
stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Because I was telling people, I'm like, yo, go check out love.com. I'm like, go check out love.com. Because people are like, oh,
Um,
what should I watch? Because everyone's kind of don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, if you need a new movie, go to Netflix. Who doesn't have Netflix? I mean,
yeah.
everyone does. So
Yeah.
it was like perfect timing.
No, I
But
appreciate that.
yeah, no, it was super dope. Like, I was so proud of you. I was like, oh my God, Brave, like her starring, like it's crazy cool.
Yeah, no, it definitely opened up some really cool doors. Like I'm super excited. Once when this kind of calms down, I know there's 3 more movies
Oh,
set that
dope.
I'll be in. So, it's just a matter of just waiting this thing out and then jumping back in when the doors open back up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Next, I want to talk music. I mean, I can't believe Fearless is already 5 years old.
Wow.
I was getting like my questions together today, and I'm like, dang, I feel like you dropped that like,
Like
because I still
yesterday.
listen. Yeah, because I still listen to it like now and then. So it's like, dang, I think like it's crazy. 2015 is that long ago now, but it was such a great body of work. I still love Original. That's my jam.
Aw.
I love Original. Original's my favorite off the album. But how was it though, just having these 5 years to, well, I guess kind of reflect on it because that was like your first full body of work.
That was my first, yeah, that was like my first EP. I mean, so much
Hmm.
has transitioned, obviously, from that point to now. Just
Yeah.
growing as an artist, being more willing to be more vulnerable for this go round. So
Hmm.
before the pandemic happened, I signed a deal with Universal SRG,
Hmm.
and we were gearing up to release this new body of work, which I'm still super excited
Yeah.
about. The new songs are, like I said, I dug deeper this go round in the sense of how
Hmm.
much I wanted to share and how much more vulnerable I wanted to be. Um, and I'm really looking forward to people hearing this new music.
The new stuff. Okay, dope. But with Fearless, what was your favorite track to make at that time, and what was your favorite to perform? Would you say?
Ooh, there's 2 that come to mind.
Okay.
Even though Ooh Love You
Okay.
and Day and Night, I love to perform Day and Night. Like
Okay.
I love just that whole intimacy, being able to like sit on a chair, have the mic, feel like I'm singing like one on one to somebody in the crowd. Like that is one of my favorite songs to perform.
Yeah, and I want to ask you that too. Like you said, you're signed back with a label. How does that feel to have? Because it's such a different world today. Like sometimes labels are beneficial, sometimes independent is beneficial, or if
Yeah,
you have a good 50-50 split,
yeah,
it's you can make stuff really work.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
how
mean,
was it for you?
honestly, I mean, I'm in a very great position because we did like a partnership. So,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have my label, Brave New Worlds, and they really just believe in everything that I was already doing. So it's kind of like them just coming along and um, just pushing it with a greater machine,
Mm-hmm.
behind what I was already doing. So
Yeah.
I still view it like I am an independent artist because I never want to even just mentally feel like I get lazy. Like, oh,
Yeah.
well, they'll take care of it, or it's like, no, I'm very strategic, business savvy. So it feels great. It feels great. I mean, the last 5 years, Fearless, I put out completely being independent.
Yeah.
So it feels good to transition and have a machine behind this new project. And we'll see. We'll see. I'm just like counting down the time, like, Lord, let this
But
pandemic just come and go so we can just, as much as possible, get back to whatever the new normal will be.
yeah, and I love it that you didn't rush out like anything. I'm happy you didn't rush out like another EP just
Yeah.
to have like you had what you tried it, you had and now you have
Yeah.
options.
Yeah, I had to, yeah, just like single releases.
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of like sprinkle. But I do, you know what it is? It's like I'm one of those artists where like I have to live,
Yeah.
right? To get inspired to want to sing or to write
Hmm.
or to do music. I wish maybe sometimes there are moments where I wish I could, you know, get inspired quicker.
Yeah.
But
There's
it's
no
like,
time telling. Yeah.
right, but it's like that's life. So it's like I think about the quality of the music because I don't just want to say anything. I don't want to be um, not honest in what I'm putting
Hmm.
out. So it's like definitely I did take my time with the new music, and like I said, it's a little bit it's more vulnerable.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I can't wait. Like, Options is super dope. Like, from the video, you playing different characters in it.
Thank
Like, yeah,
you.
was it important for you not to have other people play, like other actresses play in it? You want it to play all the parts?
I did. I wanted to play
Yeah.
all the parts. I wanted to just again just kind of if I'm gonna do it, why not be the most creative as possible and dig into the
Yes.
acting? You know what I mean? Like, and you know from back in the day, like we had characters when I was in the group, like,
Uh-huh.
and even though I thought about incorporating, I was like, no, let's just keep it. Let's create something new. But no, but that actually that video was a lot of fun doing, and it was the longest filming video that I've ever shot before because it took 3 days to shoot,
Oh yeah,
which
that's
I thought was a lot for a music video. But you know, once I'm committed to something, I'm like all in. I'm like, let's do it. I just want it to be great. So you know, when looking at the final product, I was super happy with it.
no, yeah, it was super dope. I was like, this is dope. Like, and like you said, 3 days. That's dope because I feel that's like the nostalgia of videos. Because today, most videos are shot in like a day,
Yeah,
2 days top. So it's kind
yeah,
of cool. It was 3 days because that's like reminds me of like making the video back
yeah.
on TV back in the day. Like, like you had 2 to 3 days because you had a huge production or you had to do
Right,
so many different characters and
right.
different scenes. So that's dope to know. Um, you've been on reality TV on R&B Divas. Would you ever want to do something else like, I don't know, Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives? Would you ever? I mean, or another platform? I don't know. I mean, I know it's. Trust me, I know the editing could be. That's what
Yeah,
makes people, unfortunately, like the bad people in the show because the editing. It's not. They're really like that.
yeah. I mean, I would never say never. If
Hmm.
I were to ever do reality again, it would be on my particular, I don't say my particular platform, but I would be the one that's producing it, creating it. I would be in,
Okay.
I don't want to say 100% complete control, but majority of the control. I don't know if I would ever do it again where, like a Love and Hip Hop where you kind of, you know, you relinquish all the control to the editors and however they want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Me and my family, my sisters, we've talked about it. I've played around with the idea. So I'll never say never, but that's really not my focus. My focus is definitely completing the scripted work,
Okay.
starring in the scripted work, casting for the scripted work, and really just digging in behind the scenes for the next year or so.
Yeah, I want to ask you too. Movies and scripts. Who's like your dream co-star? Who would you love to work with?
Oh my gosh. We might have to come back to that question because there's so many. And it's because there's 3 scripts right now. The one that's the most to be completed. That question excites me too much. I have to think about that because
Okay.
there's so many because there's different characters for each script, right? That I could
Yeah.
choose. So if I just look at this one particular, that's more of a comedic, a comedy. Um,
Or we could say each genre, really. We could say like, like an action. We could see like a comedy, romantic comedy. What else? Thriller or horror movie.
oh
But we
my
could get back. I can let you think if you want.
Yeah,
That's
let me
cool.
think on that
You want
because I'm thinking for my particular film. I'm trying to manifest for
You're
my
my.
film.
Yeah, you got to put it out
I
in the
don't want to just
universe.
right. I don't want to just pick just anybody for someone that like no
Yeah.
for my film for what I want. So we'll come back to that question.
Okay. Well, have you been checking out the verses?
I have.
Yeah, I watched last night.
You know what? Let me tell you. I missed last night, but
Okay.
then this morning I saw the parody of Spice and Afion Crockett. Did you see the
Oh
parody?
no, they put something out already for.
They
Is it
put it out
classic?
2 seconds after Nelly and Luda were done. Like it was 2 seconds later. Granted, I didn't see any of them in the moment of last night, but I saw that from the comments and the write ups that they got. It was like, how
Yeah.
quick? How did they do that so fast? Like as soon as that one was over, they were on making a parody. But then I did go back this morning and I saw the parody, and then I went and I found it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So I
last
saw
night was
it.
my favorite, just because I think I could relate to it the most because it was kind of like end of grammar school, beginning like high school was those are kind of like the
Wait,
two.
you said which one was your favorite?
Ludacris and Nelly, to be
Oh yeah,
honest, right now, just because like my age, I guess that was really like high school. That
yeah,
they were out. That's when like Country Grammar and Back for the First Time first came out. I think I was like a freshman in high school or in eighth
yeah.
grade, like one of them. So, but who would you love to see still like with the verses? Because I have a couple people I want to see.
Oh
I
wow.
think it's interesting. I don't think it's really a competition. I think it's just
Yeah, I mean
really
they try to
to
make it like it's a competition, but it's like,
like to give your flower, like show your flowers, like
yeah,
to the
yeah.
people like doing it. Like,
If I was to be completely honest, I mean, two of my favorite artists, I almost cried when I found out that Just Scott and Erykah Badu were doing it. Like to me,
yeah,
that was like that was the ultimate. I mean, every song that was played, it brought back some sort of nostalgic moment
uh-huh.
that I had when I first heard the song. Like when Long Walk came out, when my sister gave me that CD, it's just like I don't know how old I was, super young, but it's like I connected with her music so much.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, like that was for them to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to see anybody else. Throw in the towel. I'm good.
And it was super dope. They were the first females to do it. I
Right.
think it needs to be more done because like they always try to pit females against each other. It's like no, it's no competition. It's just for the love of hey, we're all
Love
cooped
the
up right
music.
now. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Well,
And
and like you said,
I feel like their verses really, truly. I mean, Teddy Riley, Babyface, it demonstrated it too. But there were so many jokes that kind of felt like almost superseded the greatness of the moment, even though we did get the greatness out of the moment after the fact. But to me, I guess seeing the two women, the
hmm
sisterhood, it was just a completely different vibe. I mean, it was super dope. It was epic. It was epic.
yeah, I'm really hoping for more of them. Like and like you said, just it's a sisterhood or brotherhood. It's no. I hate when they say like verses, cause just to be let's have a good old IG live and do some
Yeah,
dope stuff. Like it
yeah,
doesn't. I hate when see people say like who won. I'm like no one won. They were both
yeah.
super dope. Like they're both dope artists. Why do you have to always do that? But this industry, it's cutthroat. It is grimy. I try to tell people that it's killer. What?
Oh, honey, you froze
Were
a
you
little
there?
bit.
Oh, did it freeze?
Sorry,
We good?
I heard you say this industry, and then you like cut off.
Oh, okay. The industry, it's super cutthroat. It's a grimy industry.
Yeah.
If you're not in it, if you don't know, what's one thing you really learned from the beginning, from like being a rich girl and till now? What's one thing you really learned that really sticks with you now?
Never allow anyone's opinion to dictate whether you move or not. If you
Hmm.
feel something that you need to do for your career, if you feel something you need to do, um, just for your growth, whatever it is, no one is going to. I can't say no one is going to see your vision, but you can't put that responsibility on other people to see your vision. I said version. I meant to say vision. It's no one's responsibility to feel the same way that you do about how what you want to do.
Yeah.
And early on, I truly learned that I dreamed so big. I
Hmm.
still do. But when you're younger, you can be very impressionable when you hear resistance from somebody, or if you get laughed at, like, girl, that can't happen. And even now as an adult, it's like
Yeah.
people, you have to be very careful with who you share your vision with, because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So definitely I learned that
That is so
if you
true,
feel,
especially like you said with people because they'll just think of it as a joke and it's like no, why don't
yeah, I
like
mean, and you know what, and sometimes it's not even their fault. Do you know what I mean? It's not
yeah.
even, it's like depending on how big or small you dream, it's like my thing is I've learned that it's I can't leave that at someone else's doorstep for them to understand it. I don't even expect people to. When I come to my management team and I have ideas, not to say that I'm just I do care about their opinion,
Yeah.
but for the most part, if I'm speaking it, that means that it's already into fruition. It's already happening. I've
Hmm.
already I've already asked, gotten permission, and now and now I'm pretty much just sharing that this is what I want to do, and I'm letting them know, and I accept their guidance. Then they'll navigate. Um, but you have to make a decision on how important something is to you. And
Yep.
then if it's at that particular level, just go for it. Because you're always going to have resistance. You're always going to have doubt. Not even just doubt from other people, but doubt inside yourself. Like, it's never just like, oh, I'm going to make a decision, and then tomorrow I'm waking up and it's done.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster. You're going to be like, oh, shit, did I make the right decision? Okay, how do we do this? Okay,
Yep.
nah, I can't do it. No, just F it. Execute. Go with it. Believe in yourself. And just don't listen to the naysayers, because they're going to be there.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's so funny you said, because that's what I've really learned too. Like, not to really like keep your circles small, and like you said, because like you said, sometimes not their fault. It's just they don't really understand because they're
Yeah.
not in the industry, like,
Yeah.
or they don't see your vision. So it's just like, okay, I kind of get why they don't understand, but I just literally tell like a few people now because, like you said, it's just not worth it, and you know it yourself what you want to do regardless. Like,
Yeah. And again, and it's truly not their responsibility to understand, because
hmm,
God didn't give them the idea. Do you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, God didn't, however the idea came to you, it came to you for a reason. So it's up to you to deliver the idea, and to execute it. So it's so important once you really adopt that. It's like it really changes the way that you handle criticism, or you handle
Yeah.
people's opinions, or you handle there's constructive criticism is something different.
Yeah.
That's, you always want to learn. You always want to put yourself
Hmm.
around smarter people that can teach you something. But for the most part, you want to protect. You want to know how to protect the vision that you have, and just don't lay it at the doorstep of other people and then be upset when they're not with it. I mean, because
Yeah.
even with Rich Girl, you mentioned that. It's like, I was the first one to say, oh, we should go on tour with Beyonce. Everyone was like, are you crazy? We haven't dropped a album. We haven't dropped a single. And I'll never forget that. I was in a room and everyone looked at me like I was crazy. And I just remember that feeling of knowing how certain I was that we could
Hmm.
tour with her. And then not even 3 months later, we get a call and it's like, do y'all want to go on tour? And I just sat there like, really?
What?
Really? And we still ain't dropped nothing. We dropped one little single, still no project. But it was like, it's okay, because I knew that it was possible, and in God's time. So that's all I
Yeah.
can say.
That
That's all
was
I
a
can say.
moment. I'll know. And you were the main headliner. There was
Yeah.
no, I mean, I'm sorry, opener.
The opener.
There
Yeah,
was
yeah,
no other openers, which was
yeah.
so, because sometimes they put a lot of opener. It was dope. It was just Rich Girl and then Beyonce.
Yeah.
So it was super dope. Yeah, I'm happy I got to experience that and see that. But
Yeah.
you know, the new project. How far along are you? What? Because like you said, now with this pandemic, we have more time to really hone in on
Yeah.
our craft. And if you want to tweak anything or fix stuff, like what have
No.
you done? Like, yeah, the project is it completed, or now are you thinking like, oh, now I could fix a couple things?
Yeah, honestly, it was about 98% done.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, with this pandemic, my inspiration on what I want to, things that I'm writing about now, has
Yeah.
completely like shifted, obviously. So now I'm thinking that there'll probably be about 3 or 4 more songs that I want to complete before I say it's done. I was probably literally 99, 98% done. We had the single. Um, we we still have the single that's ready to come out.
Hmm.
Um, but my whole creative process has kind of shifted in the sense of the topic,
Yeah.
just how I'm feeling, and just want to be able to like use that as a vehicle to even, um, just decompress, or just share. And I want to include some songs that are uplifting.
They're
So
needed. They definitely
yeah,
are, I feel.
yeah. So that's definitely something I've been working on now during this time, and just trying to stay creative.
Dope, dope. Well, yeah, you've worked with so many amazing people already. Who do you still want to work with production wise? And then
Mm.
who's someone you want to work with, like a feature on a song? Who's still on your dream list, would you say?
Um. Well, I'll start with a feature. I would love to work with Alicia Keys.
I could see that.
She's like, she's one of my favorites. I love her spirit. I love her energy. I just think that we could collab and just do something really, really dope together. And Kendrick Lamar, I'm a huge fan of his.
Okay.
Um, Production wise, you know, it's funny because I was actually just listening to his album. Rico Love is super talented.
Yes,
That's somebody that I could see
he is.
doing a collaboration with.
Okay.
Well, in terms of production, not a collaboration, but yeah.
Yeah, production. Yeah.
And maybe we just, like I said, I literally was just listening to his music like 2 nights ago. Um, my best friend sent me a song, and I was like, "Oh, who produced this?" And I was like, "Oh," and then it kind of just went to into a whole down the rabbit hole, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, he's super. Yeah, he's definitely somebody that could be on my list."
Dope, dope. That's good. That's good to know. Who, what is still on your bucket list? Not necessarily even career-wise, but just like you want to do something. What's on your bucket list? What couple things you want to do still in life? Because like right now, I was thinking of it like, dang, I could really put it in perspective because you can't. No one could do anything right now. So
Right.
like, kind of, it's like, oh, well, I still want to do this, you know. So.
Do you know what's funny? If I can be completely candid,
Uh huh.
something that I wanted to do that I actually accomplished during this time, which I didn't expect to do
Yeah.
during this pandemic, but I've always admired interviewers, like watching them on the red carpet, people that interview, because that's a whole like job in itself. What you do, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's I mean, like obviously, but like it's a real art to that. And I've
Because there's a
always
lot of bad interviewers.
absolutely. I mean, and it's like I said, it's a very real art.
Hmm.
And I always said that that was something I wanted to get into, but I always thought like years down the line,
Yeah.
right? But with this pandemic, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start. So it was like
Why
my,
not?
but I was scared shitless. I was
Were
like
you?
so nervous. Are you kidding me? Because I'm used to being interviewed, so it's just like I'm happy when I look back at it. I was like, okay, I didn't seem like I was nervous, but it's like
But internally, you're like,
internally, it was like lump in my throat. I'm like,
yes.
breathe, breathe, breathe. You got this. I'm like saying mantras. But as I kept doing, because the first one was LL Cool J,
Yeah.
and then Tay Diggs, and then I mean, the experience was awesome, and it definitely taught me a lot about myself. Um, it taught me like why not use this time to just be fearless and just go try something new. If it
Yeah.
don't work out, you can always blame it on the pandemic. Like, you know what? I was going crazy. It was the pandemic. But if it does work out, it's like, hey, you just learned something new. You just did something new. So
Hmm.
that was something that was on my bucket list that I'm gonna continue to do. But I'm happy to say that I accomplished it during this time.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because so many people ask me and they're like, "Oh, it's such an easy job," and I'm like, "No, it's really like, yeah, it's fun once action hits and you're doing the interview, but if you don't do your right research or like have dumb questions or can't really like
I always have the biggest fear of saying the wrong name. Like I know your name, but because of the nerves,
nerves,
like
yeah,
you just end up like saying the wrong name. And for me, that's like the biggest. I don't know what I think is gonna happen. Like the sky isn't gonna fall, but in my mind, it is like something that treacherous is gonna happen if you like slaughter accidentally somebody's name because it kind of is a big deal.
yeah,
But that is one of my biggest fears. Just like I know who I'm interviewing, I know who I'm talking to, but just because I don't know, being nervous, I just call you. I don't know.
it's funny you say that because it before this happened, like my videographer, when I do the in-person interviews, he told me, he's like, Nick, literally 10 minutes before like you're about to interview, you like zone, like you're not laughing, you're not.
Yeah,
And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like almost like a performer on stage, like how they get.
absolutely.
Like he's like, you get like that, like you don't. And then once it says like I say action, you're like, ah. And I'm like, I don't even realize it. He's like, Nick, you have no idea. You just it's
Don't
weird.
know.
It's kind of like a performance, but not a performance.
It's kind of on the same line.
Yeah,
You're on, and you have to
you're
be.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
And like with IG Live, it's really on. Like, cause there's so many. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many hiccups. Like, there's been so many glitches and
Oh
people
my.
coming on late, or I'm forgetting. And I'm like, oh, this is real, like real
So
time.
let me ask you this, not to interview you, but I'm just curious. When this started and you had to do more IG live interviews, were you nervous at all?
Yes,
You were.
100%, because I don't like I'm not the type of person that's really like full of myself where I want to just get on before you get on. I always go on first my live, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm waiting for Brave to get in. I'm just not that. I don't know. It's just not me. So
I
like
got
that made me nervous. Like, oh my
They're
god,
watching. What are you
it's
gonna
exactly,
say?
they're watching, and I'm like, this is cringeworthy. Like, I just want the interview to happen. Like that's every time, every single one I've done so far. And the funny thing is, I never like doing like over the phone or IG live.
You're in person.
I like in person because I
Right.
feel it's just, I don't know, it's better you connect with someone. Like you can
Yeah.
connect on here, obviously, but it was kind of like my new normal because people were
Yeah.
telling me like, well, Nick, you can't just stop doing interviews because you're not in person. You could actually do them like, and
Yeah.
people could watch them live. And I was like, okay, let me.
I guess.
Exactly. I was like, I
Right.
guess let me start. And yeah, I mean it's pretty good, but I do get so nervous.
Well,
Like,
you're doing a phenomenal job.
oh,
You really are.
yeah,
You
you
make it
too.
look
I mean,
easy.
when I seen you doing it, I was like, look, and I liked how you combined it, like with the quarantine workouts. It was you did the interview first, and then you do the workout.
I mean, and honestly, I think the only reason why I felt like I was okay with it was
Hmm.
because I knew the motive behind it. Like,
Yeah.
so obviously every Tuesday, Thursday, you know, these 30-minute workouts that I want people to join in just to make sure that they are like staying fit and staying mentally healthy during this time.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know what? Why not bring someone on who's whatever their career might be, an actor, singer, director, another trainer, a
Hmm.
singer, whatever. Just to share for those 10, 15 minutes about how they're
Yeah.
staying sane during this time and things that they're doing. So for me, it was just all in the love of like just wanting to motivate. So that made it easier, but I was still nervous as shit.
And I feel like it's good when you get nervous because it's like those good nerves. I feel like people that
Yeah,
don't get nervous, it's like it's not your true passion or something
yeah,
you really care about. 'Cause like a
yeah,
lot of people, when people say they're not nervous, I'm like, you're not nervous. Then I feel like you don't really
yeah.
care as much. Like you're just kind of it's just a job. Like,
And then it's crazy because the first one was with LL Cool J, and like he logged in, but then couldn't connect, and then he logged off, and then he went on his live, and then he was calling me on his live, and
his
then I get phone calls like LL's on his live, so you need to go to him, and I'm like, no, I was like, this is karma for me laughing at Teddy Riley. Like, I know this is karma because I should not have been laughing at those men for the Wi-Fi and for the situation hiccups because it's not easy. We're all getting used to this.
like you said, in the first couple, oh, those are the worst. Because I didn't know you could turn off comments. I didn't, because I don't go on
I
live a lot.
noticed. I'm like, why is the screen so clear?
Yeah,
What
you could turn off
happened?
comments. I think it's distract. I mean, it's cool sometimes, like if you're on alone. But I feel like with
Yeah,
an interview, it's just kind of like, unless you're taking questions, it's fine. But I was like, I didn't know I could turn them off. So I was like, oh, there's all stuff. Like my first two, I get comments. I didn't
yeah.
know because I
And
don't.
they're all over the person's face. So it's
Exactly,
like,
all over. Yeah, and I was like, I don't like that. It don't look professional. Like
yeah,
when I upload them to YouTube, it just looks better, clear
yeah,
and crisp.
yeah.
But yeah, but it's cool. Now I'm kind of gotten into a groove where
The
I
rhythm.
feel still nervous, but still like, I'm like, okay, this is, I get prepared and get my questions together every day. And I always get like literally I get my questions together the day of. I always do. I don't know why. Some people prepare like weeks in advance. Because I like to
Yeah,
find like the most up to date stuff and like see if you did anything recent. Because if you get questions too
yeah,
long
yeah,
ago, it could kind of be so.
yeah.
But it's
See, with me,
interesting.
I noticed I did it the night before, just
Yeah,
because I
that's.
know with acting, whenever I read the script the night before, it's like it's so much more easier to memorize
Mm-hmm.
and to sleep on it, like to have it fresh in my brain right before I go to sleep. So I would do that with my questions, just so I could spew them out and not,
Yeah.
even though it's not bad, I guess, to look down and then ask.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't know.
No, and it's not like that's how I always tell people ask me that, like, maybe if I forget my questions, I'm like, well, have
Write it down.
it down there. Like, don't just put it all in your head, because if you
Yeah,
really go blank, you're
yeah,
screwed. Like,
yeah.
and you don't have nothing to reference. I'm like, you're just, because people ask me, they're like, you keep a piece of paper? I'm like, I always keep a piece of paper. You never
Right.
know. Like, there may be that one point you forget, and that might have been the most important point that you really want to talk about. So
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
But, Brave, you've done so much in your career. Like, it's crazy. 2009 was Rich Girl, and now it's 2020. It's a
Ooh,
whole, yeah. Oh, I'm getting old. It's scary.
it's
Um,
a whole decade.
yeah.
And then
But what's one of your favorite moments in this, in your career? Because you've accomplished so much and been to so many dope events and award shows and everything.
some of my favorite moments,
Hmm.
probably the moments. There's two or three that really stick out, and not so much because the moment itself was so grand,
Yeah.
because again, I was scared shitless and still went forward with doing it because I knew that my bigger blessing was on the other side. I've truly learned that in life. Anything that scares you, anything that really like makes you, I mean, we're talking about healthy things here,
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
like healthy things, people. Um, Anything that really makes you scared. I've learned your biggest fears, your blessing always sits on the other side because you learn so much more
Hmm.
about yourself. And one of those was R&B divas. I was like, what am I doing? Because this isn't even my personality. Like, am I going to have to transform into somebody? It was like this whole,
Hmm.
your mind.
But
I
so
was
many
very
people do
overwhelmed.
transform
Yeah.
for it. Hmm.
And I knew that's not me. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
be who I am. Will they like me? Will I be too boring? Will I be too peaceful? Like, it was all this conglomerate of just stuff. But I came out so much stronger, so much more known to people in terms of my music. Because for me, it was always about the music. I just wanted to
Yeah.
get music out there. So for me, it was a great platform to do that. But the fear was real. But once when you go forward with it and you execute, I can't say that enough. It's like nothing is ever as bad
Yeah.
in real life than it is in your head. Things are always worse off in your head than it is in real life.
Oh, so bad. In your head, you're your own worst enemy. It really is the worst thing. Like you said, the next day once it's over, you're like,
I
like
can do anything.
exactly, like it's over with. It's done. I accomplished it. I
Yeah.
did it. Like I could do everything, like literally
Yeah.
anything and everything.
And
So
it's the greatest feeling. And another was shooting my first sex scene. I was petrified. Again, I thought that I was shooting. It felt like I'd be shooting a porn. It was horrible mentally. But obviously, it was my job, and I was hired to do something, and I wanted to be the best. Um, and when it was all said and done, it was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Like,
yep,
yeah, it's work. Okay,
it's right.
like, but in my mind, I was being sent to hell right after they called cut. Like, I was like, it wasn't that at all. So it's like, for me, again, those aren't like the most, glamorous moments,
Hmm.
right? But for me, they were the most monumental in terms of my growth and my development and maturity as an artist, as a woman, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Oh, and I can say going back to school to become licensed and certified as a fitness trainer, that whole process of even having to buckle down and study, and
yeah,
that came with its own set of
yeah. Because like going back to basics, like getting
right,
back in the books, because you've done
right.
so much already. You don't think you're necessarily going to go back. You don't know.
And that was the greatest thing I ever could have did. And even just coming out when I saw that I passed, and it was just like being able to start that business and then succeeding at that business with being able to just change people's lives, and having so many different types of clients of women, and seeing their confidence go from 0 to 100 with their transformations physically and mentally. It was like the
Yeah.
first reward. So that's probably in my top two.
Okay. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, and hey, at least you did a lot of, like you said, the fear for the movie scene you said, like that's dope because at least you got it done with, and now you're prepared for like anything else. Now it's like what worse could? There's nothing really I feel worse that could be in a movie
that's
scene.
it. That's it.
Yeah, that's like I feel like everyone talks about it, like oh, it's the worst ever. So like at least you did it in one of your first films, and now
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But to wrap up, I don't want to take all your time. I know it's an hour later by you, but to wrap up, this year we don't really know what's going to happen. But what's the rest of this year you want to accomplish? I guess, on these new normal terms.
Yeah.
And 2021, what do you want to do?
I am definitely going to be completing this film, my
Okay.
film, the one I'm creating and writing. I'm the casting for it. I have two directors in mind that I want to shoot it. I definitely want to dig into the behind the scenes and the creation of movies. Some maybe starring or not. That's not even a big thing. I just have a lot of ideas that I
Hmm.
want to get out and I want to manifest on the big screen. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay.
This new project, I'm still really super excited about. I'm so happy that the label is so excited about.
Yeah.
It's one thing for you to be like, yay, and
Yeah.
then, to have the machine like, yeah, nah, they're still so excited about it. And that makes me happy that they care and they want to put it out, even in the newest single. Yeah, I want to do a great body of work. I really want to do a great body of work, and I am doing a great body of work. So it's just a matter of getting it out when we see the time is fit.
Yeah.
And then more acting, definitely more acting and more behind the scenes of creating more films for our people to get into.
That's awesome. No, I'm so, I can't wait for the music because I'm just a music head. So anytime music, I'm like, oh, I just love it. But no, Brave, I want to thank you so much. I always appreciate you. Thank you so much for always being a dope person and friend and just always being so positive. Like, I can look at your stuff and make me feel better sometimes when I'm like, you know, down and out sometimes because
Thank
it's not like it's a struggle, but it is a struggle in this time in a way. So, you're always very optimistic and always positive. I love that about you, and you're just a
Oh,
great person.
thank you. You
Yeah,
always have a friend in me. Don't
yeah.
ever feel alone, or when you get down, I'm just a phone call away.
Good.
Or
Okay. But no, Break. Thank you. Stay safe.
I know you too.
Yeah, and I'll keep you updated. I go. Yeah, I have a day. Well, but I know
I
the
was
surgery's
going to
gonna be
say
quick.
blessings on a speedy recovery, but definitely keep me posted.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Yeah, hopefully I'll be within a couple days, but we'll see. I'm
Okay.
stuck home anyway, so it's not like I'm missing out on anything.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
Nobody going away. We'll still be here.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. But yeah, stay safe, and I'll talk soon.
All right, Gallo. Love you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Love you too, Brave. Talk to you soon.